The sun was just beginning to peek over the horizon, casting a warm, golden light across the quiet cityscape. The air was crisp and clean, as if the world was holding its breath, waiting for something extraordinary to happen. In a modest apartment on the outskirts of town, a lone figure sat hunched over a computer screen, their eyes glued to the numbers and symbols scrolling past. This was no ordinary morning routine. This was the life of Dr. Emily Anderson, renowned AI developer and creator of ChronoScope. ChronoScope was unlike any other predictive program in existence. It wasn't designed to tell you the weather or give you stock tips. It was built to look into the future and see the unseen, the unimaginable, the unknowable. And it was good at its job. Extremely good. Over the past few years, ChronoScope's predictions had an uncanny accuracy that baffled even Emily herself. But today, something felt off. As she scrolled through the latest data, Emily couldn't shake the feeling that something was amiss. The numbers seemed wrong. They didn't make sense. And then she saw it, a pattern of seemingly unrelated events that, when viewed together, formed a chilling portrait of the future. A future filled with unspeakable horrors and catastrophes on a scale never before imagined. Emily's heart raced as she dug deeper, searching for answers. It didn't take her long to realize that ChronoScope had been tampered with. Someone or something had manipulated the program's code, twisting it to serve their own dark agenda. The question was who, and more importantly, how could she stop them? The first rays of sunlight crept across the room, casting a warm glow over Emily's face. She took a deep breath, steeling herself for what she was about to do. She knew that she couldn't continue down this path alone. She needed help. She needed allies. And so, with a trembling hand, she reached for her phone and began to dial a number she had never intended to call. "Hello," came a tentative voice on the other end of the line. "Who is this? How did you get this number?" Emily swallowed hard. "My name is Emily Anderson," she said, "and I think I've found something that you need to hear." There was a long pause on the other end of the line. Then, a familiar voice said, "Emily? Emily Anderson, the AI developer." "Yes," Emily replied. "It's about ChronoScope, the program you've been using." "I know what it's about," the voice interrupted. "Tell me what you've found." Emily took a deep breath. "Someone has tampered with the code. They've been using it to make predictions that serve their own agenda. And the future they're creating, it's not good. Not good at all." There was another long pause. Then, the voice on the other side sighed. "I suspected as much. I've been watching you, Emily. I knew you were too good to be involved in something like this." "What do you mean?" Emily asked, confused. "Who are you? And what do you know about this?" "My name is Jason Thomas," the voice replied. "I work for a group of people who have been fighting against those who would use ChronoScope for their own gain. We've been watching you, waiting for you to make a move. And now that you have, we want to help." "Help how?" Emily asked, skeptical but hopeful. "We have resources that can help us track down those responsible for tampering with ChronoScope," Jason explained. "And we have a plan to undo the damage they've done. But we need your help, Emily. We need you to come with us and join our cause." "Join your cause?" Emily repeated, hesitant. "I'm not sure that's what I want to do." "Emily, this isn't just about you anymore," Jason said, his voice taking on a more urgent tone. "It's about the future of the world. And if we don't stop them, if we don't change the course they've set, millions of innocent people will suffer. You have to understand that." "I do understand," Emily said softly. "Give me some time to think about it. I need to be sure this is the right thing to do." Jason paused, his voice gentle when he spoke again. "Take all the time you need, Emily. But know that the decision you make will have far-reaching consequences. The future of the world is in your hands." There was a long silence on the line. Emily could hear the faint sound of breathing on the other end, as if Jason was giving her space to think. She stared out the window, watching the sun rise higher in the sky, casting long shadows across the room. Her mind raced with thoughts of what she had discovered and the potential implications. Finally, she spoke again, her voice steady despite her inner turmoil. "Okay, I'll come with you, but I need to know that you're telling me the truth. That you're not just using me to get what you want." There was a brief hesitation on the other end of the line. "You have my word, Emily," Jason said. "I'm not here to trick you or manipulate you. I'm here because I believe that you have the skills and the courage to make a difference. And together, I truly believe that we can change the course of history." Emily closed her eyes, taking a deep breath. "All right, where do I meet you?" "I'll send you the coordinates," Jason said. "You'll need to leave your phone behind, though. They'll be tracking it." "And what do I tell my parents?" Emily asked, her voice trembling just a bit. "Tell them the truth," Jason replied. "They deserve to know what's going on. And if they need help, we can provide that as well." There was a long pause, and then Emily let out a shaky breath. "All right, I'll meet you there. Just be careful with my parents. Okay?" "We will," Jason assured her. "And Emily?" "Yes. Thank you. I don't know what's in store for us, but I know we're in this together now. And I'm grateful to have you by my side." The connection clicked off, and Emily was left alone with her thoughts. She knew she was making a huge decision, and there was no turning back now. But for the first time in a long time, she felt like she was doing something important. Something that mattered. Something that could change the world. She grabbed her backpack and began to pack a few essential items. As she did so, she couldn't help but wonder what she was getting herself into. She didn't know anything about Jason or his organization, but she had to trust him. Or at least she hoped she did. Time seemed to fly by, and before she knew it, she was standing outside the coordinates Jason had sent her. It was a secluded spot in the woods, and as she approached, she could hear the faint sound of running water nearby. Suddenly, a figure emerged from the trees, moving quickly and quietly. It was Jason. "You made it," he said, relief evident in his voice. "Come on, we need to hurry." Emily followed Jason deeper into the woods, her heart racing with a mixture of fear and anticipation. They eventually came to a small clearing, where she saw several other people she assumed were part of Jason's group. They were all talking in hushed tones, their expressions serious and focused. Jason motioned for her to join them, and she took a seat on a log nearby. One of the other members, a woman with short-cropped hair and piercing blue eyes, introduced herself as Alex. She explained that they had been working against the company for months now, trying to uncover their secrets and stop them before it was too late. "We managed to hack into their system and discover their plans," Alex said, her voice grim. "They're planning to release a virus that will wipe out most of the world's population. They think it'll help them control what's left, but we can't let that happen." Emily felt a shiver run down her spine. This was even worse than she'd imagined. "So, what do we do now?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Jason exchanged glances with Alex before turning back to Emily. "We have a plan, but we need your help. We need you to use your skills to find a way to stop them. Can you do that?" Emily hesitated for a moment, but then nodded slowly. "I'll try. I'll do whatever I can." Jason smiled at her, his expression reassuring. "We believe in you, Emily. You're one of us now." The group spent the next few hours planning their attack. They went over maps, discussed strategies, and made sure everyone understood their roles. Emily listened intently, trying to absorb as much information as she could. She knew that her life was about to change forever, and she wanted to be prepared for whatever was to come. As they finished up, Alex pulled Emily aside. "There's something we need to discuss," she said, her voice low and serious. "You understand that this isn't going to be easy, and that there's a very real chance that we might not make it out of this alive?" Emily swallowed hard, feeling the weight of those words pressing down on her chest. "Yes," she managed to say. "I know." "All right," Alex said, placing a hand on her shoulder. "Then let's do this." They rejoined the group, and Jason gave the signal to move out. Emily followed them into the night, her heart racing and her senses on high alert. The air was cool against her skin, and the sound of crickets filled the air as they crept through the darkness. They reached the outskirts of the company's compound, hidden behind thickets of bushes and trees. Jason motioned for them to split up, with each person taking on a specific target. Emily was assigned to infiltrate the main computer system and find a way to shut down the virus. Her heart hammering in her chest, she made her way to the building where the servers were kept. The security was tight, but she was able to bypass it using her hacking skills. Once inside, she began to work furiously, searching for a way to stop the virus before it was too late. Meanwhile, the rest of the group moved through the compound, taking out guards and disabling security cameras. Alex and another member named Daniel were able to reach the research lab, where they believed the virus was being held. They fought their way through the armed guards and managed to secure the lab. As they searched for the virus samples, they heard Emily's voice coming over the comms. "I think I found it," she exclaimed, her voice shaking with excitement and fear. "I've managed to disable the virus and overwrite the code. It should take care of itself from here." "Copy that," Alex responded, breathing a sigh of relief. "Just make sure it's done before you exit the system. We don't want them to trace it back to us." Emily nodded, her fingers flying across the keyboard as she worked to finalize her program. As the last bits of code were executed, she sat back in her chair, her heart pounding in her chest. The screen in front of her flashed with a message. "Virus neutralized." "It's done," she said, her voice trembling with relief. "The virus is gone." There was a brief silence on the comms before Jason's voice came through. "Well done, Emily. You've saved countless lives tonight. Get out of there and meet us at the rendezvous point." Emily quickly logged off the system and made her way through the compound, her mind racing with the enormity of what she had just accomplished. She joined the rest of the group at a nearby clearing, where they embraced in a tight group hug. "We did it," Jason said, his voice barely above a whisper. "We really did it." They stood there for a moment, basking in the glow of their victory, before setting off into the night, each one more determined than ever to bring down the company and put an end to their evil plans. As they walked, Alex turned to Emily and gave her a heartfelt hug. "Thank you," he whispered. "You really are amazing." Emily smiled shyly, feeling the warmth of his gratitude. "It wasn't just me," she said. "We all did this together." Jason nodded in agreement. "Indeed we did, and now we must continue our mission. Tomorrow we strike at the heart of the company. We will not rest until justice is served." Their eyes gleamed with determination as they pressed on, moving silently through the darkness. The stars twinkled above them, casting a soft, ethereal light on the forest floor. They knew that the road ahead would be long and hard, but they were more determined than ever to see it through. As they neared the rendezvous point, Emily felt a sense of accomplishment wash over her. She had never imagined that she would be part of something so important, so life-changing. She glanced over at Alex, walking beside her, and knew that she would follow him anywhere. They had become more than just allies. They were a team, a family. And together, they would bring down the company and make the world a safer place. As they reached the prearranged meeting spot, they were greeted by a familiar figure. Lucas, their contact within the FBI. He had been instrumental in helping them plan their operation, and now he was here to congratulate them on a job well done. "You did it," he said, shaking each of their hands in turn. "You destroyed the virus and put an end to their plans. The world owes you a great debt." They all stood there, basking in the glow of their success, when Emily suddenly remembered something. "Oh, I almost forgot. I have something for you, Alex." She reached into her pocket and pulled out a small velvet box. "It's just a token of my appreciation for everything you've done." Alex looked at her with surprise, then a smile crept across his face. "You didn't have to do that." "Yes, I did," she replied with a smile. "Besides, I want you to have this." She opened the box to reveal a simple silver ring, its surface etched with a pattern that seemed to shift and change in the light. "It's a token of my gratitude, and a symbol of our friendship. I don't know what I'd do without you." Alex took the ring, his eyes never leaving hers. He slid it onto her finger, and for a moment, they simply looked at each other, their hands entwined. Thank you, he said softly. I feel the same way. You're an amazing person, Emily. I'm lucky to have you in my life.